While Google has been making Pixel phones for many years now, the situation with the accessories has always seemed a bit disconnected to me. We've had some great individual items like the original Pixel stand or those old school fabric cases. Those were absolutely great and my favorite parts of the old school Pixel era, but we've really never had a true organized line of accessories, at least until now. This year, Google has finally gone all out by creating a true, cohesive ecosystem of its own, which you probably heard of by now as PixelSnap. It was released alongside the Pixel 10, and now that the dust has settled, I've finally gotten my hands on the entire set of Google's first-party accessories. So today, I want to do a real, genuine deep dive and talk about how this new ecosystem has landed. Not to mention, if you have a Pixel 10 or are maybe considering one in the future, knowing which one of these are worth your money will be super valuable. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. First up, let's start with the most expensive but arguably most interesting accessory, the PixelSnap Charger with stand. And right away, I can tell you this is far more like a smart dock than a simple wireless charger, which is definitely a good thing, I'd say. The build quality is pretty great as it has this heavy, secure base that has this nice rubbery, almost felt-like texture. It's technically a two-part piece since we have the base itself and the PixelSnap wireless charging puck that you can manually remove yourself. Great if you need to get a replacement for whatever reason. In the day-to-day use, putting my Pixel 10 on the dock is super satisfying as you get this solid and secure snap, and pulling it off is just as seamless since you can pull it free with a simple downward motion. But the part I truly enjoy is when you dock the phone itself, and this is where it goes from being a simple accessory to something that honestly makes the phone feel way more engaging than usual. When docked, or charging in general really, the Pixel 10 has the ability to enter this screensaver mode. Technically, older Pixels have it as well, but only on the Pixel 10 do you have more advanced options like cycling through your Google Photos or showing the weather alongside a handful of clock face configurations. Personally, my favorite is the Google Photo screensaver as I can use it as a little digital photo frame that just sits on my desk while I work. It makes me feel way more homey and more comfortable seeing my memories pop up throughout a workday. It's just a nice touch that helps me feel a lot better. You can also turn the phone sideways for some kind of standby clock mode, just like on iOS, where Google Photos and the weather will reposition in landscape accordingly. And there's a low light mode with a minimal clock face that's perfect for your nightstand or when you're in deep work and don't want any distractions in the slightest. In general, I think the PixelSnap stand is a great experience, but it's not perfect, I will say. I truly wish Google offered a first-party 3-in-1 combo, something that could charge the phone, a Pixel Watch, and the Pixel Buds all at once. And it's also important to know that a power brick isn't included in the box. So to get the fastest possible speeds from the stand, which is up to 25 watts on the Pixel 10 Pro XL and 15 watts on other Pixel 10 models, you'll need to supply your own USB-C wall charger that is capable of that output. So the charger is arguably the most impactful part of the system, but naturally you might want to complete the collection with other accessories. So let's start with the most visible one that I would say, the first party Pixel case. This year, the only major difference is this updated case has its own set of magnets built in addition to the ones that you have inside of the phone itself. I find this doesn't necessarily double the strength by any means, but it does ensure you're getting a perfect, reliable alignment every single time. And in my testing with various wallets, battery banks, and car mounts, the compatibility has been spot on, no issues at all. Otherwise, it's a very familiar accessory to what we've seen in the past. It looks nearly identical to last year's case, which isn't a bad thing with its matte-like finish and minimalist look. It's also thin, protective, and a perfect match for the Pixel's design language, now just with PixelSnap built in. There is a small detail that I did notice though from this year's first-party case to last year's. On the Pixel 9, at least with my unit here, there is a visible seam that goes all the way around the rails of the phone. It wasn't noticeable at first, but compared to the Pixel 10's first-party case, that seam is a lot less noticeable now, so maybe they improved the manufacturing process. It was just a small item that I did want to note. Next, we're moving on to what I have to say is probably one of the most disappointing accessories with the PixelSnap Ring Stand. For the positives, I will say this thing is huge and the design feels very familiar to the Infinity Ring on the Pixel tablet case. It's actually a bit better, I'd say, since you can actually rotate the ring in any direction alongside being able to reposition the angle of that ring anywhere within 180 degrees, which gives you so many options to position the phone at the best possible viewing angle. And despite its size, the profile is slim enough that it doesn't get in the way at all. In fact, if you're just holding the phone, the matte and metal textures actually add a surprising amount of grip to this device. However, I do have to say, I have a strong feeling there's a widespread quality issue that makes this accessory really hard for me to recommend. After one single week of use, the hinge has gone from firm and stable to being all wobbly and loose. Since launch, I've seen more than a handful of reports online saying that the screws come loose and dislodge over time. Also, it only comes in the moonstone color, weirdly enough, so it's not going to be a perfect match for every case. Because of those things, I would say it's safe to avoid this for now. Personally, I really hope Google revises the whole entire build on this thing. Keep the same design, but make it a lot more reliable because it is a good accessory, but right now it's simply not worth the $30 asking price, and for half that, you can find way better third-party options. So that's all the big items with the stand, case, and ring, but to get the absolute fastest charging speeds for the entire ecosystem, you need to have the right power brick, and that brings us to the final piece of the made by Google accessory setup, the Pixel Flex 67-watt dual port charger. Now, this doesn't use PixelSnap, so it's not really related in that regard, but it is designed to be the ideal travel charger for a Pixel 10 owner. It's a dual USB-C port charger that delivers a combined 67 watts of power and supports modern charging standards like USB power delivery and PPS, so we can fast charge a wide range of devices. Its standout feature is that it identifies when a Pixel is plugged in and prioritizes its charging over a second device. This guarantees your Pixel gets topped up as fast as possible. With this charger, the Pixel 10 Pro XL can get a full charge in just under 80 minutes. However, this prioritization does come at a cost. If you plug in another high-power device like a laptop or another flagship phone, the charger will significantly slow down the second device, so just keep that in mind. At $60, it is certainly a pricey accessory, especially when there are a ton of other great third-party options. So really, I would only recommend this if you're all in on the Google ecosystem and want that guaranteed prioritization for your Pixel phone. So after living with the entire first-party accessory lineup, did Google succeed in building a compelling ecosystem? And I would say for the most part, they almost got it right. This is a massive step in the right direction, no doubt. That said, the PixelSnap Charger is undeniably the star of the show. It's a genuinely transformative accessory that makes the Pixel 10 feel more like a smart home device, and it's the one piece that I would recommend to almost any Pixel 10 owner. The first-party case is a solid, reliable foundation for the ecosystem. The PixelSnap Ring is a fun, versatile gadget, but it's probably best picked up on sale at best, or only if Google publicly states there's a revision coming. That way you know that all the immediate issues are 100% resolved, and the 67-watt charger is definitely for the completionists who want the full, officially sanctioned Pixel setup with the fastest possible speeds. Also, I will say I did lie a bit as I didn't talk about the PixelSnap wireless charging puck, just because it's super basic, the premise you guys already know about, and there's not really that much to say about it. That said, as a whole, Google has finally provided a fully kitted out, convenient accessory experience that Pixel fans have been asking for, but those are just my thoughts. And I'm honestly really curious to hear what you guys think. What accessories, if at all, are you most interested in? Where do you think Google can improve with these accessories? Are there any that are missing that should have been here? Please let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below, as I'm super curious to hear what the Android community is thinking. Until next time, this has been Jordan Floyd with 9 to 5 Google. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.